Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. The Tigers' Miguel Cabrera continues his assault on American League pitching. Yesterday, Cabrera reaching his 300th career double. And if you dig deeper into the numbers, you see he has a 364 career average with 41 lifetime RBIs against the Texas Rangers. Time to get the offense going today for the Tigers on a beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City as we welcome you to Comerica Park. Game 2 featuring the Rangers and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Bemba, glad to have you with us here for the middle game of the series this afternoon. Rod Allen will join us momentarily. The Tigers, despite having some good pitching on this homestand, have not seen the results in terms of wins and losses. Justin Verlander yesterday was outstanding. The hope today is that Brad Penny will be able to follow suit. And although Penny has struggled in his first 2 starts of this 2011 campaign, well, the background is there. The numbers are there. In the month of April, Penny is a career 25-9 with an ERA of 3.69. And the hope today is that Brad Penny will have a good April start here against a very good Texas team. Game 2 in this series coming up. In the meantime, we go back to the Call Sam Studios now. And here's Ryan Field.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chevy.
About 150. is a fabulous day for baseball here in the Motor City. Clear skies, plenty of sunshine, a little cool this afternoon, but we have game 2 in this 3-game series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Box score can be found at foxsportsdetroit.com. Here is the starting lineup for the visiting Texas Rangers, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. A couple of changes today for Ron Washington. Elvis Andrus will lead off. He'll play shortstop, followed by Michael Young at second base. Josh Hamilton is the DH. Adrian Beltre is at third. Nelson Cruz in right. Then you've got David Murphy, and you've got Torrealba, Moreland, and Bourbon rounding out the lineup for Texas. Here's the scouting report on Brad Penny, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, one of the things that Brad Penny must do here this afternoon is keep the ball down in the strike zone against a dangerous fastball hitting Texas Rangers team that has hit a bunch of home runs already. In order to do so, he needs to get to the breaking ball. He has a good curveball, but has not thrown many of those this year. And after the first couple of starts in very friendly hitter ballparks, he's finally at spacious Cabrera Park for his first start of the year. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by the fine folks at Beaumont Hospital. New look defensively. Rayburn in left, Jackson back in center. Casper Wells gets a start in right. Inge, Peralta, Santiago Cabrera the infield. And Victor Martinez is getting the afternoon behind the plate today, putting down these signs for Brad Penny. So we should see quite a few breaking balls today. Martinez likes to call that pitch.
Well, we also will see some really good weather. The temperature a little bit cool right now. It's 51, but boy, is it gorgeous here at a gorgeous ballpark, Comerica Park here in downtown Detroit. Elvis Andrus is getting set to settle into the batter's box. It'll be Andrus, Young, and Hamilton. We are glad to have you along with us here today. Tigers start to wind down this homestand before they hit the West Coast after the game on Wednesday. Andrus has been struggling offensively. Penny's first pitch is low, 1 ball to no strikes.
It might be nice to have one of your better offensive players and a nice two-way player struggling in your team still be 9-1.
Yeah, they've been able to find a way to get it done despite the fact that Andrus came in batting just $188. He's 1 for his last 19. Here is Penny's 1-0 pitch. And there's a strike called, 1-1.
And Brad Penny, his fastball will get anywhere from 90 to 94 miles an hour. When he was young, he was an upper 90s with his fastball. Has a curveball, a split-fingered fastball, and a changeup. He has 4 pitches.
Here's the 1-1 to Andrus. And it's line foul. Well, Penny has to be excited about pitching in this ballpark. It's 420 to dead center field, and you really have to hit it to get it out of this yard compared to Yankee Stadium and Camden Yards, as you talk about in his pitching report. So much more pitcher friendly here.
Well, we watched a ball game yesterday afternoon where both pitchers threw some fastballs at the top of the strike zone, and they landed harmlessly in the outfielder's gloves.
It was a fly ball haven yesterday for both Agondo and Verlander. And the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Andrus punched out of there. First strikeout of the game for Brad Penny. And the struggles continue for Elvis.
It's a well-located fastball. If he could locate his fastball at the knees on the outer edges, he's got a chance to be successful here today.
It'll bring up Michael Young. Tigers yesterday managed only 4 hits in the game. Texas had only 6, but they made theirs count in that 7th inning, which they got 2 runs. Michael Young had a big double, a big RBI against Verlander late in the game yesterday. Finished 2 out of 4.
And he's the definition of a professional hitter, a career 300 hitter, 5 times with 200 or more base hits in a season.
Yeah, through his career, he basically has done it very methodically and kind of under the radar. I think most people in baseball know that he's an outstanding player, but when you really start to look at the numbers, you see a lifetime 300 average. He's got some pop. And as you mentioned, good for 200 hits or thereabouts. Strike called by home plate umpire Tim Timmons today. 1-2 on Young.
Brad Penny is a big fellow on the mound, about 6'5", 250 pounds. Got a very slow, deliberate wind-up, and then all of a sudden, some real good arm speed coming through the strike zone.
Here's the 1-2. Right back up the middle. Penny tried to kick it on the back leg, but couldn't do it, and there's a base hit for Young. First base runner of the game for Texas. And now here comes Josh Hamilton. Like yesterday, we have a pretty strong breeze blowing today. Although today it's blowing out in a bit of a different direction. It was blowing straight out toward left yesterday. There's Old Glory today, headed in the opposite direction. There's Hamilton. 1 for 3 yesterday. It was his walk that ignited the 2-run rally in the 7th.
Ron Washington said that he will give Hamilton the afternoon off tomorrow. They have a scheduled team day off on Thursday, so he basically giving him 3 days off of his feet in the outfield.
And that's something that Leland talks about all the time. You have to look ahead. You have to pick your spots within the schedule to rest guys that you know you're going to need for the long haul.
Ron said when Hamilton got to the ballpark today, he was asking him, are you still planning on giving me tomorrow off? Even though he wants to give him that day off, a guy like Hamilton's still fighting to get into the order.
Well, he's ahead here 2-0. There's a strike, 2-1 on Hamilton. 316 start this year for Hamilton, one of the best players in the entire game. MVP of the American League last year, outdistancing Miguel Cabrera. Here's Penny's 2-1. Well, there's some numbers on Hamilton from last season. First AL player since Stormin' Norman Cash in '61, with a minimum of 359 and 30 homers. So a combination of the ability to get on base, hit for average, and hit for power. The 2-2. Driven to right center field. That ball might be trouble, and it will. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Young should be able to score on this. They'll round third and bring him home. Hamilton headed for 3, and he dives in with a triple. Josh Hamilton has given the Rangers a quick 1-0 lead.
And Penny tried to sneak a 2-2 fastball by Josh Hamilton, but a very short, quick, compact swing. He's able to drive the ball into right center field, and by the time Casper Wells picks it up, Michael Young with decent speed able to score, and Hamilton able to get his first triple of the season.
It's also his 7th RBI of the year. The Rangers wasting little time, and now Jim Leland wasting little time and pulling the infield in here in the first inning.
Well, not a bad move by Jim. The offense has not been producing as of late, so therefore you can't afford to give away any more runs.
Adrian Beltre, the batter. This is, of course, on the heels of the Tigers managing just 4 hits yesterday against Alexi Ogando.
Ogando was outstanding yesterday for 7 innings.
High pop-up. See if it stays in play. Engine foul ground, and he'll make the catch. Here comes Hamilton. Nobody covering home, and he is out at home plate. Oh, the Tigers got a break there. Nobody was covering home, and Hamilton tried to score. Wow. So the Rangers settled for 1 run on a weird, strange play to end the inning. this drive.
Well, Josh Hamilton gambled there, but Victor Martinez and both ends were over there to catch the pop-up, and a heads-up play by Inge and good hustle by Martinez to get back to apply the tag to Hamilton.
Here's the Tigers starting lineup in this one here today on the heels of that play, which keeps it a 1-0 game. It's brought to you by Big Boy. Jackson, Santiago, and Rayburn are your top three this afternoon, with Cabrera at first base and cleaning up. Victor Martinez behind the plate. Brennan Bosch is your DH. And Peralta, Inge, and Wells, the bottom three in the Tigers lineup. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on left-hander C.J. Wilson. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Wilson was converted to the starting rotation last year, and all he did was win 15 games for the Texas Rangers. Nothing he throws is straight. He's got movement on everything. He has all four pitches: the fastball, the curve, the slider, and the changeup. And his velocity is a little bit down this year. They say that his fastball is anywhere from 89 to 91, whereas a couple of years pitching out of the bullpen, he was 94 to 95 with his heater.
So the Tigers with a stacked right-handed lineup against the lefty Wilson today. We'll send Austin Jackson up there.
Well, Wilson in his career, whether pitching out of the bullpen or in the rotation, for the most part, left-handers hit sub 200 against him.
Jackson showing some signs in his last two at-bats of breaking out a little bit. He's had a bunt hit, and of course he came on with a pinch hit yesterday. Austin had, for the most part, the afternoon off yesterday. 205 batting average. Wilson's 0-1 sails outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
If there was one negative on Wilson last year, he led the American League pitchers in walks with 98 and tends to nibble on the corners way too often.
He's fallen behind here 2-1. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs, though. He gave up just 10 the entire year last year.
Pitching in that ballpark.
Yeah, in 32, 33 starts. Pretty impressive.
Ball flies out of Rangers Stadium in Arlington.
C.J. Wilson out of Newport Beach, California. He's 30 years old.
That's a nice part of the country.
It sure is. Especially if you've got a boat. 3-2.
I'm thinking about a surfboard. You're thinking about a boat. That goes to tell you who's making all the change up here.
Look at you turning that around.
Wow, a boat. I hear you.
3-2 on Jackson. And he fouls it back out of play. Well, I don't think there's any doubt, and Jim Leland touched on this before the game, that the Tigers' offense needs to get going, and to do so, Jackson is probably going to have to start stirring it up a little bit.
Well, no question about that. This guy's a very good two-way player. He's played very well defensively, but for whatever reason, he's off to a slow start this year. But Jim reminded everybody we're only 10 games in.
Ooh, that ball is hit well to the gap in right center field, and it is going to get down to the wall. It goes. Bourbon couldn't get it. Jackson streaking toward third, and he has a triple. Get it into that right center field gap and you can run all day.
We talked about Bourbon in center field and the fact that he would get burned at some point in time during this series, and he gets burned the very first batter of the game. It's a fastball up, real good swing by Jackson, and once the ball lands, there's no way that Jackson's not going to get a triple. He was thinking triple out of the batter's box.
That is the Austin Jackson we are used to seeing. Leadoff man on at third base, nobody out. And here's Santiago getting the start at second base today. Will Rhymes gets the afternoon off. So each team with a triple here in this first inning.
Adrian Beltre's even with the bag. If the ball's hit sharply at him, Jackson should not come home. Anything else on the ground at any of the other infielders, he could score. Ouch.
Ooh, that's not good. 0 for 9. Runners in scoring position.
Not many chances either.
Yeah, that covers 3 games.
Sometimes you get 9 in one game.
1 and 2 on Santiago.
If you're Santiago, really what you're trying to do right here is just hit a ground ball to second base. On the ground. Ground ball here to get you an RBI, and ties the score at 1.
Fouled straight back.
Told you that C.J. Wilson, his velocity on his fastball is down a tick this year, and there are some that believe that it may have something to do with the Rangers playing deep into October last year and him being in the starting rotation for the first time in his big league career. He threw over 200 innings.
Bouncing ball hit slowly towards second. This will get the run in. Santiago gets the job done, and we are tied.
Really can't draw it up any better than that if you're Santiago. Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers defensively, presented by Tim Horton. Murphy in the outfield, Bourbon in center, Cruz with an outstanding throwing arm in right, Beltre, Andrews, Young, Moreland in the infield, and Yorbit, Torrealba, is back behind the plate for the second consecutive day. They've got Gold Glove defenders on the left side of their infield, and Andrews and Beltre. Even though Andrews hasn't won one, he will before it's all said and done.
Yeah, not a whole lot you would expect would get through that left side.
Beltre's already won a couple Gold Gloves in his career.
Ryan Rayburn, the batter. So the RBI by Santiago ties the game quickly here in the first inning. The Tigers, after giving up a run, get a triple of their own. And Jackson scores. Rayburn at 261. Had a double late in the game, the 9th inning yesterday, which gave the Tigers a chance at least. And Ron Washington walking Miguel Cabrera with first base open and 2 outs to pitch to left-handed batting Victor Martinez. And it worked out. Tipped into the glove. As Torrealba holds onto it for strike 3. First strikeout of the game for C.J. Wilson, 2 gone.
Well, if you're the Texas Rangers and you're the players on the team, and you see your manager do something like that 10 games into the year, you say, whoa, Skipper's playing for keeps. He's not giving anything away.
It does send a message, doesn't it?
It sends a message very quickly. We're not going to give games away, and he's not going to let Miguel Cabrera beat him today or the next couple of days.
Speaking of, here is Cabrera, and he takes a big rip. Well, Miguel's track record against Texas pitching has been really, really good. 364 lifetime. Wilson's 0-1. Bouncing ball to second. Routine play there for Michael Young. And that's all for Detroit, but they tie it up. They get a run on 1 hit. Nobody left. On our way to the 2nd inning. Comerica Bank, strength and stability since 1849. By Jeep brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. And by Arby's Junior Buffalo Chicken Sandwich, new to Arby's value menu. Hurry available for a limited time only. Back here at a windy, sunny Comerica Park this afternoon. Another day game here in the Motor City in Texas, and the Tigers all tied up at 1 run apiece. It's a good day for sitting in the sun, and most of the fans are here today. Enjoying a hot dog, some day baseball. And Brad Penny getting set to go back to work as we head to the second inning. It'll be Cruz, Murphy, and Torrealba. Tigers have one more game here tomorrow, and then it's on to the West Coast. Cruz looks at a strike right at the knees. Then he was 0 for 4 on first pitch strikes in that first inning, and a much better start here in the second.
You cannot make a mistake to Nelson Cruz. He is one of your better mistake hitters in the American League. And when you make a mistake, they usually find the seats.
Cruz, a very interesting player, and we've talked about the fact that you turned him a late bloomer yesterday, Rod, which I think is exactly on the money. I mean, this guy spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, 9 years in the minors.
Tremendous power.
But he has seized his opportunity here with the Rangers. Penny's 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cruz. He'll be followed by Murphy and then Torrealba. Rangers got a triple from Hamilton to drive in a run in the first. It's fouled off at home plate. 2-2 on Cruz. 0 for 4 yesterday. Nelson now 0 for his last 8. Yet he still leads the major leagues with 5 home runs in the early going. Chops slowly toward third. Inge will charge. And Cruz is out, 1 away.
A couple of days ago, when Penny was throwing his side session in between starts, it was Friday to be exact, he along with Rick Knapp, they were throwing some balls and trying to simulate getting the ball down in the strike zone. You could see the string across the knees in the bullpen, and the emphasis was placed on Penny. You have to get the ball down. He's given up quite a few home runs already this year, but if he works where that string is across the knees, you can have success up here.
Can also hang your laundry on that string as well if you needed to.
It's not the first time I've seen that done, but if nothing else, it's muscle memory just to get on top of the ball, get the ball down in the strike zone, and do a good job.
Here's David Murphy. 1 out for Texas here in the second. And Murphy off to a nice start, 4 for 17. One home run, 3 RBIs for the Rangers left fielder. Here is Penny's 2-0 pitch. He takes, and it's a strike, 2-1.
Murphy did most of his damage for the Rangers after the All-Star break last year. He hit over 300. He hit more home runs, drove in a lot of runs. He stole some bases. He was performing very well for Ron Washington.
And he typically has performed well against the Tigers in his career. In 20 games against Detroit, he has 16 RBIs, not to mention 6 home runs. Torrealba waiting on deck. 3-1 pitch. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Brandon Inge under it. Murphy is out. Two gone, and here is Yorvich Torrealba. The veteran Torrealba, well traveled. He has played in a ton of postseason games. He's played mostly in the National League. New look to the catching core this year for Texas. Mike Napoli was traded for as well. Napoli, although, has played some first base and has caught. First pitch strike on Torrealba. Those catchers that have been around a while, that can call good games, that can throw, those guys can stick around a while. Here's the 0-1. Slice to right field. Casper on the run. And 1-2-3 go the Rangers in the second. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Still 1-1. Bottom of the second inning. Don't forget to vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Final results, of course, come postgame during Tigers Live. Victor Martinez leads it off against C.J. Wilson. Martinez, Bosch, and Peralta here in the Tigers' second. Victor 0 for 4 yesterday. First pitch from Wilson misses. After the Tigers were shut out yesterday, they pick up a run very early in this one on the triple by Jackson and the ground out by Santiago. And this against a Texas pitching staff that leads the majors in ERA and opposing batting average.
They have thrown 26 consecutive innings where they have put up a 0 on the scoreboard. They have not been giving up anything.
The 2-0 is inside. 3 balls, no strikes. So that run in the first brought that streak to an end?
Yes, excuse me. 25.
Pretty impressive. 193 is what opponents are hitting against the Rangers pitching staff. 3-0 meanwhile on Victor Martinez. Here's a strike, 3-1. Well, here you go. Some of the stuff concerning Texas. They've won 9 of the first 10. Ties their club record for best start. And there's a walk. Martinez gets a leadoff base on balls. Bring up Brennan Bosch. Bosch yesterday was 0 for 3. He's DHing today. Maglio Ordonez is out of the game today. And Jim Leland before the game was not quite sure when Maglio would be ready, but they took an MRI on his Achilles and that turned out to be okay. So they're saying he's got some swelling behind the Achilles, which is much better news than the actual Achilles having some trouble with it. So we'll just see how it goes day to day and how he feels.
Jim also said he had a decision to make between Bosch and Avila in the starting lineup today, and he chose Bosch because Bosch had good numbers against left-handers last year, and the way that Avila is swinging the bat and the dominance of C.J. Wilson in his career against left-handers, he did not feel like he wanted to put Avila in this situation.
Fouled away. 337 against lefties career. So that's part of the reason why he's out there today. Avila's been on a pretty good stretch offensively, and I guess the feeling was, let's just keep him going, give him a day off.
Yeah, he didn't want Wilson to mess him up. Feels like he's in a real good place, real good swing. And a guy like Wilson, who's dominant on left-handers, can mess you up.
Slow roller hit toward third. Beltre fires to second one. Rita is not in time. Bosch beats it out. Young got rid of it as quickly as he could.
Bosch runs well for a big guy, which means that even though it was a nice turn by Young, the speed of Brennan Bosch allowed him to get to first base safely.
It'll bring up Johnny Peralta. And although Peralta was hitless yesterday, he's had a good homestand. He's batting .344. Strike one from Wilson.
Wilson is a superior athlete. He was a hitter in college. Loyola Marymount University, after spending a couple of years at a junior college. Has a good move, fields his position very well. Good athlete on the mound.
Wilson also, at a young age, at the age of 15, received some one-on-one work with Bud Black, a big league pitcher and now the manager of the San Diego Padres. And Wilson was introduced to Black at age 15 through a family member. And Black has continued to follow his career. Driven deep down the left field line, but that will hook foul. It's an awfully big advantage when you're a young kid to have a big leaguer, I guess, in the neighborhood, or to be introduced to a big leaguer to get some tips. And I guess it's easier to develop that way.
No question about that. In several cities across America, you have some hitting studios and whatnot where you have where the minor league coaches or big league talent that like to go there and teach in the wintertime, make a little extra spare change.
Did he go? No, we did not. And those studios and academies are becoming bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes, they are.
Whoa. Pretty close. 1-2 on Peralta. And Wilson just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Black was saying that when he was first introduced to Wilson, he thought, well, you know, I get a lot of folks come up to me and ask and tell me their son is a really good baseball player. But he said the first time I played catch with CJ, I knew we had something there. This one is rolled slowly towards short. This should be a double play, and it is. Of the 6-4-3 variety, side retired, 2 in the books, and you're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
month and a half in San Francisco, and that's someone I looked up to and someone who pitched for a long time. So and he's smart. You always hear about people talking about Maddox, and I played with him too, and he was really smart. But Randy's smart. He's up there with the best of them, and he knows how to pitch.
I guess, Rod, you think of Randy Johnson as just a guy that goes out there and overpowers people, but there's more to pitching than just throwing it as hard as he can.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing that Randy decided to mentor Brad Penny, because I spent some time around Randy when I was broadcasting games out in Arizona, and he didn't talk to very many people. He had his game face on 7 days a week.
Yes, he did. But Randy Johnson, where does he rank on your list of most imposing pitchers that you've seen live?
Top.
Really?
Number one.
Yep.
I think he won like 4 straight Cy Youngs in an Arizona Diamondbacks uniform. He's incredible. Incredible.
Well, here's Mitch Moreland to start things off. We go to the top of the third now at Comerica. Tigers won and the Rangers won. The middle game in this 3-game set between these two teams. Moreland batting in the 8-hole is going to be followed by Bourbon and then Andrews. 5-game hit streak for Mitch Moreland. He had a double in yesterday's game. Here's Penny's 0-1. Talk about this at the top of the show, that while Penny has struggled a bit in his first 2 starts of 2011, the month of April typically for him has been an outstanding one. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. How good has it been? Well, how about this? 25-9 in the month of April. And an ERA of 3.69 as well. Swing and a miss, and a big swing there by Moreland. 2-2. Moreland does not qualify as a rookie this year. He had 145 at bats last season, which puts him over the limit. Now the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. .348 batting average in the postseason last year. A big part of what the Rangers were able to do down the stretch at that first base position. 3-2 pitch. Lifted back out of play.
It's a nice luxury to have if you're Ron Washington and you're trying to break in a young player. You've got some superstars on your team, so you can kind of hide Moreland down there in the latter third of your batting order and take a little pressure off of him.
That's driven toward left center field. That's going to be trouble. Jackson won't be able to get this one. He'll cut it off in the gap. And Moreland will cruise into second, sliding in with a double.
Well, that's what we were talking about as far as Brad and the fastball. He's got to get the fastball down in the strike zone. If he doesn't get it down, this Texas Rangers team, they could really clobber some fastballs. This is 92. It's on the outer edges, but it's up. And it allows him to get on top of it and slice the ball in the left center field.
4th double of the year for Moreland. And that is the 3rd Rangers hit today.
More than likely, Bourbon will be up there bunting and trying to move Moreland along.
Snap throw into second, and it almost went into center field.
Anytime you drop down to that sidearm angle as a catcher, the ball is going to tail on you, and that's exactly what Victor does here. Arm drops down, elbow drops, ball kind of lags on you.
One 1-0 on Bourbon.
See the infielders playing in a little closer than they normally would up the middle because of the speed of Bourbon.
And again, he shows bunt. 2-0. Bourbon right now 1 for his last 13. Dave Anderson in their coaching box at third base, relaying the signals. Moreland has led things off with a 2-base hit. Here's a bunt. Back to the mound. Only 1 play. So move the runner up to third base. And we remind you that here's a look at the upcoming April in the D events that we have scheduled, including all 3 teams in action tomorrow. Opening game of the Red Wings in the Stanley Cup playoffs. For a complete April in the D telecast schedule, visit FoxSportsDetroit.com. Rangers and Tigers, Coyotes and Wings, Pistons in Philadelphia on FSD Plus. April in the D in full swing. Tigers now pulling the infield in again. They did so in the first inning. They'll do again here in the third with a man at third base and Elvis Andrus up there. Andrus struck out to start the game. Ball 1. Andrus only 22 years old. And the minute he got to the big leagues, showed that he could play at this level. He was an all-star in the 2010 campaign. Oh, look out. He's hit by the pitch. His penny comes up and in, and Andrus will take first base.
Yeah, that one got away from Brad. And Andrus had nowhere to go.
Well, Josh Hamilton apparently injured himself on that dive into the plate, because it looks like Kinsler has moved the on-deck circle. Michael Young stepping in now. There's Kinsler. Hamilton's spot 2 up next. Young swings and sends it high in the air and deep into left field. Rayburn going back to the track, to the wall. He leaps and he makes the catch. Ryan Rayburn pulls a home run back. Moreland will tag and score, but what a play out and left by Rayburn. Young is robbed.
That ball is a home run on most days, even here at Cabrera Park, but with the wind blowing toward right field, it was knocked down. Rayburn didn't give up on it, and take a look at the jump. He wasn't too close to the fence, which allowed him to elevate and bring that ball back into play. Outstanding play by Rayburn.
So Texas takes the lead, but it could have been a whole lot worse had Rayburn not made the play on that ball.
So many times you see the left fielder jump as he's too close to the wall, and he jumps right into the wall, not able to elevate. But Rayburn knew how many steps he had once he hit the warning track, and he timed his jump perfectly.
So Kinsler now has been announced for Hamilton, who's out of the game. A strained right shoulder for Josh Hamilton. That'll take him out of today's game, and he was scheduled to get tomorrow off as well.
They have had the toughest time keeping him healthy the last couple of years because he plays the game so aggressively. Sliding and diving in the outfield, running in the walls. And a slide today has caused him to have to leave this ball game.
Runner goes. Kinsler showing bunt. Throw down to second. Got to be tardy. Stolen base for Andrus. Kinsler played yesterday. In fact, led off the ball game yesterday. Was 1 for 4. Had a single in the 8th inning.
Don't go to sleep with Andrus on second base, even though there's 2 outs. And he likes to steal third as well.
The 1-0. Martinez able to keep it in front of him, but no chance. Andrus quickly gets to third.
He has some outstanding base running instincts. Being a shortstop, he knew a breaking ball was called. He gets off as soon as this ball hits the dirt, and there's nothing that Martinez could do.
Wild pitch. Another run now 90 feet away with 2 outs. The 2-0. Line foul. This is why Josh Hamilton is out of the game.
Adrian Beltre almost got the shallowest sacrifice fly in his career.
Inge and Martinez alertly realized that Hamilton was going to try and score from third. Nobody was covering home, and they just got him. 3 balls, 1 strike on Kinsler.
And be careful here. He's a dangerous fastball hitter and hits everything to the pull field.
And he has power. 4 home runs this year. There's a strike called. 3-2.
Good pitch. 88 miles an hour. Took something off the fastball.
Full count here on Ian Kinsler. That'll get back out of play. Kinsler typically has not hit well in this ballpark. He's .222 lifetime here at Comerica Park. He'll take over in the DH slot now for Hamilton. And they pop this one up shallow right field. Santiago going back. Wells coming in. Casper makes the play. And the damage is held to a minimum. 1 run for Texas. They go up 2-1. Detroit is brought to you by AT&T and by your neighborhood Spartan stores. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. Great day for baseball here in the Motor City as we head to the bottom of the 3rd at beautiful Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. And the Rangers have a 2-1 lead over the Tigers. 2 runs, 3 hits for Texas Tigers. 1 run, 1 hit. Inge leads it off, then Wells, and then Jackson facing the lefty C.J. Wilson. Brandon 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Takes the first pitch right at his feet. 1 ball and no strikes. Inge at 242. Here's Wilson's 1-0. Only Tigers hit so far. The leadoff triple by Jackson. He eventually came around to score the only Tiger run to this point. Brought up an interesting point a little bit earlier in this game, Rod, about how Texas will have to keep an eye on their pitchers, and their general manager has agreed with that. John Daniels has said that, you know, we had some relievers and starters go way deeper than they normally have. Of course, they went to the World Series last year, and they will have to monitor a little bit more closely this year their innings.
No question about that. You have to really watch your players.
Inge goes down swinging.
Filthy pitch. I told you in the pitching profile today that Wilson throws nothing straight. An assortment of 4 different pitches: fastball, slider, change. That's a nasty slider with some real good depth to it.
Most wins by a lefty in Rangers history. Of course, former Tiger Kenny Rogers on top of that list. Wilson had 15 last year.
That was his first year in the rotation after getting 52 saves from 2006 to 2009. He was closing games for them.
What typically is it in a reliever that makes you think that, you know what, this guy might be able to make the transition to the rotation?
The ability to throw that third pitch. And apparently he displayed the ability to throw a third pitch while in the bullpen, and that kind of translates into a pretty good starter. And being left-handed doesn't hurt.
1-1 is in for a strike on Casper Wells.
When you see the knees of a right-handed batter buckle on a left-hander breaking ball, that gives you an idea that it's got some pretty good break to it, pretty good depth to the pitch.
2-2. Of course, the Tigers have their own former reliever making the transition in Phil Koch. Here's the 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Wells goes down.
We talked about Jackson in his early season struggles, and we spot shadowed the front foot here for you to get an idea of how important that foot is in getting it down for you to generate any bat speed whatsoever. Jackson's foot is still in the air when the ball is being released. Therefore, he's not able to catch up to good fastballs. But today, he got that foot down, and it's firm, bat speed, barrel of the bat. Good results for Jackson.
Austin tripled in the first inning, came around to score the Tigers run.
Timing is everything when you're standing in that batter's box.
Slow roller hit towards second. Michael Young gobbles this one up, and the Tigers go quickly and quietly here in the third. 3 innings in the books. Game 2 in the series. Rangers lead. Going on to win 9 or more of its first 10 the following season, which is what the Rangers have done obviously this year. They played in the World Series last year against San Francisco. They're 9-1 this season. Only one other team has done it. Can you name that team? Brad Penny is warming up, getting ready to go back to work here in the fourth. Tigers trail 2-1.
I think I know the answer to that question, but only because I think I read it a couple of days ago.
I think I read it too, but I can't remember the team. Don't give it away.
I won't.
Okay.
We've got some sharp fans that watch Tigers baseball. Someone will get it.
Here comes Adrian Beltre. He'll start things off, followed by Cruz and then Murphy. Brad Penny has surrendered 3 hits so far. Drilled right center field. Jackson on the run. He won't even get this one up against the wall, and Beltre has extra bases. He's going to try for 3. Santiago's relay. There's a play. He's out. Oh, what a throw by Ramon Santiago.
This is what you do in spring training. You do cutoffs and relays. Jackson does it to perfection. He gets the ball to Santiago. Santiago knew because the crowd was telling him that Beltre was trying to stretch a double into a triple, and he comes up and throws a seed to third base. But Santiago is a difference maker there because he alertly got the ball on its way to Brandon Inge in a hurry. That's what you practice in spring training.
A double, and the putout goes 8-4-5 on your score sheet. That's skied in the air to right, hit fairly deep. Casper Wells to the warning track to haul it in. 2 gone.
It's a nice tag there by Brandon Inge, and with the rotation of the umpires, the home plate umpire Tim Timmons was right there. Boy, did he have a good look at it.
Executed perfectly, and Beltre trying to sneak a triple out of a double, unable to do it. Here's David Murphy with 2 outs. Ball 1 to Murphy. Popped up back in the second. 0-for-1.
One thing this Rangers team will do, they will be very aggressive on the base paths. They've already demonstrated that today. Hamilton, of course, his play not so smart, trying to score on the pop-up in the infield, but Beltre trying to stretch that triple. Their base running coach, Gary Pettis, was a good base runner himself.
Tigers have seen a couple of very aggressive teams on this homestand. Kansas City just left, and they steal a ton of bases.
Gary stole a lot of bases in his career. He won some gold gloves too. Real good teacher. Really good teacher.
Now the 2-1. 3-1 on David Murphy.
It's the second time that Penny has fallen behind Murphy in his 2 at-bats. 3-1 count. Predictable fastball count.
Three-one pitch. Make it 3-2 on Murphy. Murphy has hit safely in 3 of his last 4. Swing and a miss. He went fishing, and that is that for Texas. Second strikeout for Brad Penny. It turns Texas away here in the 4th. afternoon. What is the other team that played in the World Series and then has gone on to win 9 of its first 10 games the following season, 9 or more? And that would be the San Francisco Giants, who've done it 4 times.
I had that.
Did you?
I did.
I'll give it to you. 1918, 23, 38, and 2003. So the Tigers are down by a run as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. And C.J. Wilson back to the hill, facing 2, 3, and 4 in the Detroit lineup. Santiago leads it off. The only RBI today for the Tigers on a ground out. Ramon getting the start for Will Rhymes. His second RBI of the year. 1-0 pitch is on the ground to short, right at Elvis Andrus. Santiago's out of there. That'll bring up Ryan Rayburn. Andrews was talking about how he is able to play a little bit more up the middle these days, Rod, because you've got Beltre to his right. When last year Michael Young hugged the line a little bit more, and so Elvis had to cover more of the hole, but now he's able to play up the middle more.
It's nice when you've got a Gold Glove defender with tremendous range at that third base position.
That ball's going to get through. It found the hole. Not even Andrews or Beltre could get to that one.
We've talked about Johnny Peralta and his ability to make some plays up the middle this year, because Brandon Inge also has some really good range at the third base position and allows the shortstop to cheat up the middle.
So the Tigers have just their second hit of the day, and it sets up the cleanup man, Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera bounced out, ending the first inning. Strike one called on Miguel. Cabrera 5 hits on the homestand, including his 300th career double yesterday. Wilson ready with the 0-1. Here it is. And a good block by Torrealba. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, C.J. Wilson made that conversion from the bullpen to the rotation last year. Not only did he make that conversion smoothly, but he was the pitcher of the year for the Rangers last season, leading the staff with 15 victories. And it's a staff that traded for Cliff Lee at the deadline last year. That's down the left field line. It's in there, a base hit, maybe more. Rayburn headed to third base. He's in there. Cabby tried for 2, and he's got himself a double.
Cabrera is lightning quick with his hands. Take a look at him pull the bat knob inside, and that ball is off the plate for a ball, but he is so strong. Hit a ball just like that yesterday against Ogando that he hit over the head of Hamilton for a double.
Well, it's time for our Farmers Insurance report card. And Miguel Cabrera, the first player since at least 1946 to reach 300 doubles prior to turning 28 years of age. He turns 28 a little bit later this month.
Whoa. Wait a minute now. The first?
First ever. Well, since 46.
That's ever.
That's ever for us, that's for sure. Here's Victor Martinez. Second and third with 1 out. And Victor fouls it away.
These types of situations with runners in scoring position, Victor's just going to need to relax a little bit, because he's going to get a lot of opportunities with Cabrera on the base pass. If Cabrera gets hot, teams will start to pitch around him, and then Victor will have to be ready to hit. A little upset at himself for missing that breaking ball. Must have been sitting on it. He got it, fouled it straight back.
The 0-1. Went the other way, fouled. No balls, 2 strikes on Victor. Bosch would be next. Tigers down to Texas 2-1 as we play here in the 4th. Single by Rayburn, double by Cabrera. Three for 9 this season with men in scoring position for Martinez. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away again. Victor, a 4-time All-Star, electing to sign with the Tigers in the offseason. And he knew coming in that the majority of his time, at least early in the season, would be spent DHing. He would have a chance to catch, which he is doing today.
He also knew when he signed for 4 years that he would be counted on heavily to hit behind Cabrera and somehow protect Cabrera when teams chose to pitch around him.
Fly ball center field. Borbon, medium depth, measuring it. Rayburn will tag. He'll come home to score. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Victor Martinez.
Hey fans, see the Tigers play these same Texas Rangers for half price tomorrow at 105. Upper box seats are only $12 and lower baseline box seats are just $14. Available exclusively at Tigers.com.
Handshakes and high fives for Martinez back on the bench, and we are all even up at 2. Brad Penny getting a little bit of offense early in this game. Here's Bosch now with 2 outs, trying to deliver the go-ahead run. Bosch reaching out a fielder's choice in his first at bat. Cabrera's 2 base hits setting up that run. Wilson and Torrealba chatting about it on the hill. Wilson was a setup man and a closer at times for Texas before making that transition last year.
And more than likely Torrealba telling Wilson, don't you worry about Cabrera at second base. He's not going to steal. You need to make sure you concentrate on Brennan Bosch and making a quality pitch to get him out.
Talk about those deadly numbers that Wilson has had in his career against lefties. Lifetime 185 against him.
Some of your best left-handers in the game get nights off when C.J. Wilson is on the mound.
Big wave, 0-2 on Bosch.
Nice two-seam fastball at 90 miles an hour. Late life. It's the last 5 feet. You can see the two-seam fastball grip, but look at the late life on this pitch. It disappears the last 5 feet after you've already started your swing.
And he got him, strike 3. Bosch is caught looking to end the inning. Tigers able to get a run though. They score 1 and leave 1. We go to the 5th, 2-2. It's only a 2-2 ball game. We've had a lot of action in this one. Ryan Rayburn, a home run saving catch. We've had a play at the plate. A couple of triples thrown in. You add it all up, and it's Tigers 2, Texas 2. As we go to the 5th inning here at beautiful Comerica Park. And Brad Penny will head back to the hill now, facing the bottom of the lineup for Texas, Yorvi Torrealba, Mitch Moreland, and Julio Borbon. 2 runs on 4 hits for Texas, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Tigers today. Torrealba is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to right field. Penny goes back to work here in the 5th. And he misses low. 1 ball and no strikes on Torrealba. A 2-year contract was given to Torrealba this past offseason. Time with San Francisco, Seattle, Colorado, San Diego, all in the National League, with the exception of Seattle, of course. There's a ball low, 2-0.
He's played in some nice places on the big league tour.
Pretty nice cities, you're right. Denver, Seattle, Frisco.
Real nice places.
San Diego.
Oh,
top 4 right there. Now the 2-0. Chopped slowly toward third. Inge has to charge this one. And Torrealba's out of there. 1 gone. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio. Here's John Keating. Thank you, John. And here it is, a 2-2 game in the 5th. With 1 out, Penny now will go after Mitch Moreland. Moreland had a double, scored a run back in the 3rd. Up with the right hand goes Tim Timmons, home plate umpire today. Ball, 1 strike. Now let's see. Penny right now is at a total of 60. It's pretty good for the 5th inning. Now the 1-1. Steve Reich, says Tim Timmons. 1-2.
Pretty good curveball there by Brad. And it's a pitch that he needs to throw throughout the afternoon, especially in fastball counts to this Texas Rangers offense.
He checked it. Didn't go. Down at third, Mark Carlson said he held up.
The Rangers, not a very patient offense. They're very aggressive hitters in their lineup. They're not like the Yankees. They're not like the Boston Red Sox. They like to swing from the word go. But yesterday they did display some patience in that 7th inning against Justin Verlander.
And it paid off for him. That was the winning inning. And a shallow left, Rayburn. 2 outs. Moreland retired. Number 9 hitter Julio Borbon.
Yeah, I believe JV threw 29 pitches in that inning. And they took a page out of the Yankees book. And that allowed them to win that game on a day where Verlander was otherwise sensational.
When everybody is healthy, in your mind, where does this Texas offense stack up against, say, Boston and the Yankees and teams that are considered to have good lineups?
Flip a coin.
Yeah, probably could, I guess.
Flip a coin. I mean, the Yankees have some Hall of Famers in their order, but this Texas team, well balanced, speed, power, average. Good team.
The Yankees have Granderson batting 8th. That's how deep they are. There's another strike, 0-2. Borbone last year had 39 infield hits, and only Ichiro had more. Ichiro had 59 infield hits, utilizing his speed. The 0-2.
Tigers will see Suzuki on the next road trip. He's always fun to watch. And they're going to miss King Felix, even though King Felix is off to a difficult start this year. He pitched yesterday, which means the Tigers hitters will not face him when the ball club is in the Pacific Northwest.
Chopper hit back up the middle. Peralta ranging left. And Borbone is down. 1-2-3 inning for Penny. You're watching Tigers baseball. Presented today by Bell Tire.
Stay with us for Tigers Live. We'll go to the clubhouse. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. Plus, we'll show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. You know, you brought it up a couple of innings ago, partner, when you were talking about Phil Koch and the fact that he is now in the starting rotation for the Tigers. C.J. Wilson is a guy that they looked long and hard at when they were making that decision as to whether Koch might be able to start. Of course, you talked about C.J. Wilson winning 15 games last year. Dick Egan, who is the pitching guru for David Dombrowski and has been that for a number of years, he felt after watching C.J. Wilson do it that Phil Koch could do it and be successful at it.
Well, he certainly looked really good in his first start of this season. And as you saw there, he racked up 7 strikeouts.
He had a really good breaking ball in that start. Threw it in fastball counts, threw it aggressively, and he threw it with a lot of confidence and conviction.
And what I liked out of that start is he really bounced back from that second inning. Peralta turns on this one, but yanks it foul. I mean, that second inning, you could tell, was starting to get him frustrated a little bit. But, you know, Leland went out there, got the train back on the tracks, and Phil did the rest. And he knows he's on camera right now. Trying to act cool, calm, and collected. One and two on Johnny Peralta. Tigers have 3 hits today. They're able to tie it up on a couple of hits in the 4th and a sac fly. Johnny hit into a double play his first time up. Here's the 2-2. It's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. fouled away. Talk about how the Tigers were so good at home last year and how they had to improve on the road. They've gotten off to a slow start here at home on this first homestand, but they've got that road trip coming up out to the West Coast that'll be telling as well. They're playing Oakland, they're playing Seattle, and while the Mariners have not fared all that well in the early going here, it's always tough for whatever reason to travel out to the West and win. Driven again, deep but foul.
There are a lot of experts in baseball that believe the Oakland Athletics have one of your better young starting rotations in all of baseball.
And they have had quite a bit of pitching run through that organization in the last decade. It's low, and Peralta works himself a base on balls. Second walk for Wilson. Right now, Texas is the class of the West, at least in the early going, by 4 games over the Angels and the Athletics. Tigers will see Dallas Braden and Trevor Cahill in that series against the Athletics coming up. Here's Brandon Inge. Right in the outside corner. I didn't know there were any umpires left that said Steve Rye.
He belted it out, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Tim Timmons. Nobody out. Leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 5th. Tigers 2, Texas 2. One more against the Rangers tomorrow. There's another strike. 0-2 on Brandon Inge.
C.J. Wilson is pitching. He is spotting that fastball on the black, inside and outside. Velocity 89 to 92.
Torrealba flashing the signs. That's popped up. The second baseman is back. Young to the grass. And Inge is 0 for 2.
Hey fans, celebrate the start of the season with the Tigers spring ticket deal. $15 mezzanine seats are priced at only $10 for select games in April and May. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
1-on-1 out for the number 9 hitter Casper Wells. Peralta led off the inning with a walk. Wells 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And of the guys that broke camp for the Tigers in the outfield, Wells is seeing the fewest amount of at-bats, and I would imagine that it's kind of difficult to get going, especially early in the season when you get a lot of at-bats in spring camp and then you don't once the season starts.
That's right. Great point.
1-0. Casper, when he was getting consistent at bats last year because of all the injuries, showed that he could hit 300 at least for the final month of the year.
That's how he made the team out of spring training. The second best defender in the Tigers organization behind Jackson. Very strong throwing arm, and he's got a lot of power in that bat.
Ground ball to third. Beltre bobbles it, stays with it. There's one. No relay.
You don't see that very often. A bobble from Beltre. This one jumped up and bit him, if you know what I mean.
I do. Did lose his composure, though. So it keeps the inning alive for the leadoff man, Austin Jackson. Tripled in the first, scored a run. He's 1 for 2. I guess the good signs on Austin is his last couple of hits have gone the other way, which is something we've seen him, or have seen him, do quite a bit.
Also bunted for a base hit a couple of days ago. That was a good sign.
Strike called on the outer edge. 1-1 on Jackson. Austin really had good numbers last year against Texas. Came in .333 career against the Rangers. Austin from Texas. And the pitch is swung out and missed. 1-2. Denton, Texas, to be exact. Rangers pitcher of the year last year, C.J. Wilson. Heading a staff that has gotten off to a great start for Ron Washington. That's hit the other way as well to right, but it's playable for Nelson Cruz, and that is that for the Tigers. No runs. A leadoff walk is left. 5 in the books. Tied at 2. Yeah, we'll come through. Don't worry, Keats. Right now it's a 2-2 game as we go to the 6th. And Brad Penny back to the hill. For the Rangers, it'll be the top of the order. Elvis Andrus, then Michael Young, and Ian Kinsler. First pitch grounded right back up the middle. It's off of Penny. Will there be a play? There will be not.
That is unfortunate. And Penny knows that's a ball that he should have fielded.
Did he touch it? I think he did. Let's see.
Slowed it down enough for Santiago to get there, but a do or die play for Ramon with young Elvis Andrus running. Not able to make that play, and a lot of times when Andrus is on the base pass, at least on first base, it turns into a double.
Yes, this does present a problem now. It's an infield hit for Andrus. And there's a base hit up the middle into center for Young.
Michael Young is such a smart hitter, knowing the situation, knowing that more than likely they're thinking along with us that Andrus is going to steal a base, takes advantage of the first pitch fastball and hits a laser right back up the middle.
So trouble brewing now here in the 6th inning. The Rangers now have 6 hits. Here comes Ian Kinsler. Josh Hamilton started the game as the DH and then hurt his shoulder, strained his shoulder diving into home plate. So Kinsler took over. And he looks at ball 1.
I told you earlier, don't go to sleep with Elvis on second base. He has the ability to take third. Really good base running instincts.
Inside on Kinsler, 2 balls, no strikes.
As a matter of fact, Elvis stole third base 11 times last year.
Wow.
11.
What do you have total? You know?
$32.
On a line to the shortstop, and no double play possibility as Andrews gets back.
That is a perfect example of what we teach from time to time. Less than 2 outs on a liner in the infield. Don't freeze, get back. Look at Elvis here. As soon as this ball's hit, he's on his way back to second base because he knew exactly where Peralta was playing before the pitch. And had he froze there, that's a double play.
Yeah, he's out.
I mean, forever you've always been taught to freeze on the line drive. No. Get back on the line drive.
Why were we taught as kids to freeze?
I have no idea.
Here's Beltre. It's the first out of the inning. There go the runners. Both of them on the move. Throw down to third. Not in time. And a double steal for Texas.
Told you.
Well, there's another steal of third for Mr. Andrews.
And a nice job by Michael Young on first base, who was the base runner there. He didn't get caught sleeping, and he was able to get himself in the scoring position as well. Fearless base runner is Elvis.
Last year against Victor, 13 bases stolen by Texas. I guess Martinez.
You know, that was the knock on Victor early in his career, but before he left Cleveland, he was doing a pretty nice job of throwing the baseball. But then you look at the Boston Red Sox starting pitchers, all big power pitchers, big high leg kicks. They didn't really give Victor a chance to throw. I'm not saying he has a great arm, but the Boston pitchers did not pay much attention to the base runners.
And you're right. And Martinez, toward the end of his time in Cleveland, his numbers jumped dramatically because they were in the low teens in throwing runners out.
He got much better.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. This will get a run in. Beltre is out, gets an RBI, puts Texas on top 3-2.
Steal of third, looming large in this inning.
9th RBI for Adrian Beltre. 3-2 Texas with 2 outs. Now Nelson Cruz. Cruz 0 for 2. That's off the glove of Martinez. Not far enough, though. Runner going nowhere.
This offense is deep. Speed at the top. Power in the middle. They got some power in the latter third as well.
Rick Knapp is going to make a trip out to the mound here. Penny right now has thrown 76 pitches, and this inning started with the infield hit by Andrews. They've had a couple of stolen bases as well.
I don't know. What do you think of this Texas Rangers team so far? We've seen the Yankees. Of course, we saw the Baltimore Orioles, who were playing good baseball and a very good story early in the season. But, I mean, what do you think of Texas so far?
You know what? I like them, and I like him a whole lot better after watching Ogando pitch yesterday. I think if this kid remains in the rotation, with Feliz at the back end. I mean, it's nice having him in the bullpen, but if Ogando can pitch like that in the rotation, they could be really good.
Somebody forgot to tell Ogando yesterday he wasn't a headliner in that game yesterday.
No, that's right. Supposedly Verlander was, who pitched very well, but Ogando, had it not been for a blister, probably would have gone deeper in that game.
Not only was Verlander one of the headliners, but you got the MVP in Josh Hamilton. You've got Cabrera. You got Rookie of the Year in Feliz. All the home runs the Rangers have hit, but yet we came away talking about Ogando.
Yeah, he was deep on the list of stories yesterday, but he rose to the top once the day was over. Meanwhile, it's 3-0 on Cruz. But to answer your question, yeah, I like him a lot, and you just pointed out the depth of their lineup, which I think is really impressive. The Angels, I think, probably have some deeper pitching in the rotation, but it's a good team. And there's a walk.
Apparently that's exactly what Rick Knapp went out there to tell Brad Penny, is really don't mess with Cruz. He has 5 home runs. He's driven in 10. He's been hot to start the season, but this cat standing in the batter's box has been hot since the second half of last year.
And that would be David Murphy. He's 0 for 2 today, but Murphy, 333 with men in scoring position this year. And the Rangers trying to build on a 3-2 lead. They've gone ahead here in the 6th. The hook misses outside.
Cruz, who is now standing on first base, has the green light to steal unless he gets the stop sign from the manager, Ron Washington. But if you're the Tigers, it ain't all bad if he steals, because then you can walk Murphy if you choose to do so, and that would put a right-hander in the batter's box in Torrealba.
Two 2-0. Murphy a pop-up and a strikeout. Tiger bullpen is going to start to work. Rick Knapp picking up the telephone. And the 2-0. He's swinging away and he bounces it to short. Peralta will throw him out. And that ends the inning. But the Rangers get a run to go ahead. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Comerica.
And now it's time for the Coors Light freeze cam. And a play earlier in this game, Josh Hamilton tried to tag up on a very short ball in foul territory, and the Tigers were right on top of it. Coors Light freeze cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So the Rangers have gone ahead here. 3-2 is our score as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Texas won the opener yesterday. They lead here today. Jim Leyland waiting for his offense to get her going. They've managed a couple of runs here this afternoon, one in the first, one in the fourth, and now Santiago leads it off in the bottom of the sixth inning. Santiago, Rayburn, and Cabrera. The big fella will hit third in this inning. C.J. Wilson, meanwhile, back to work, has scattered 3 hits. That's it. He's walked a couple of batters. And Santiago takes a strike. Here's Wilson's 0-1. Santiago knocked in a run with a ground out in the first inning after Jackson had tripled to start the inning. Little chopper hit right back to the mound. Wilson stumbles, throws a ground ball to first, and safe is Santiago.
Don't know exactly what happened there with C.J. Wilson. He's a pretty good defender. He's a real good athlete, but he looked like he left his feet prematurely. Didn't really have to leave his feet. He sure did. Tried to slide and make a fancy play instead of just a routine play.
His knee just got caught in the turf and he tumbled over. Base hit for Santiago. That would qualify as an infield single. Here's Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn 1 for 2, singled, scored a run in the fourth. Ball 1 to Ryan. Only the 4th Tigers hit in this game.
Against most left-handers in most teams, this would be a good hit and run count with Rayburn in the batter's box, because you're not going to steal with Wilson on the mound. But if you vacate first base, yeah, that's just way too easy for Ron Washington. Nice parking spot for Cabrera.
(2-0) on Ryan Rayburn. He's had a big day today. Singled, scored a run, and robbed Michael Young of a 3-run homer with a leaping catch over the wall in left center field. And the 2-0. Two and 1 on Ryan. Ordonez not playing today. Not sure when he will be back. So in the meantime, the Tigers have Rayburn, Bosch, and Wells in the lineup today. Maglio had an MRI in his foot yesterday, and it showed some swelling behind his Achilles. Driven well toward left field, and that ball is up against the wall. Santiago coming to third base. They're going to stop him there. No, he's coming through, and he will score standing up.
He ran right through the stop sign.
Gene Lamont had both hands in the air, and Santiago blew right by him. Fortunately, he scored easily. Rayburn says thanks for the RBI.
This ball was an absolute missile off the bat of Ryan Rayburn, and once it trickled away from Murphy in left field, Santiago read that play. And even though he was stopped by Gene Lamont, you can see both hands up by Gino, the third base coach. He ran right through the sign.
So Santiago makes it a 3-3 game. Give the RBI to Rayburn. His second hit today. Now a good opportunity with nobody out to take the lead. Cabrera has a double and a ground out. And he hits one to the right side, scooped up at first by Moreland. That'll advance the runner to third.
He's a money player. Runner on second, nobody out. And he gets the job done by getting him over to third base. He'll get lots of high fives when he gets in that dugout. Money player.
A chance for the Tigers to go ahead with Victor Martinez coming up.
They put him on. Play for a double play, maybe.
And you've got the lefty Bosch next, although the infield looks like it's coming in.
Yeah. Oh, well.
They will pitch to him.
And Martinez had a .400 batting average against left-handed pitching last year while wearing a Boston Red Sox uniform. 400.
So we'll see who wins this battle. One strike on Victor. Sac fly to drive in a run back in the fourth. He's also walked today against Wilson. Popped him up. Right side of the infield. Moreland makes the catch and the runner holds at third. 2 gone. He's going to bring up Bosch. Bosch 0 for 2, fielder's choice and a strikeout. Tigers have been out hit by 1, 6-5 in this game, but we're knotted up at 3. Way inside. 1-0 on Brennan. Bosch today, by the way. Happy birthday. 26 years old today for Brennan Bosch. And he has a chance to deliver the go-ahead run here in the 6th. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field, and Bosch comes through. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Brennan singles in the go-ahead run.
It's a big knock. And C.J. Wilson has been lethal on left-handers, but Brennan Bosch also has done a very nice job against left-handed pitching in his short time in the big leagues. He found a hole there.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta today has been on base once. He walked in his last at bat. He's also knocked into a double play. There's a strike called on Johnny. Wilson's 0-1. The runner goes from his knees. Torrealba throws, not in time.
Good call by Jim Leland. Outstanding call. Bosch stole 7 bases last year in a Tigers uniform. He was only caught once. With a left-hander on the mound, you're going on first movement. As soon as they move any body part as a base runner, you take off. If they throw to first base, you just get picked off. Nice slide to the second base side of the bag as well. It's a nice call.
And it would be nice to get this run in. It is a big run standing at second base right now. First stolen base of the year for Bosch. Brad Penny has surrendered 3 runs, but his teammates have gotten him 4. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Peralta. Johnny steps out now. Wilson taking too long. Tigers answer the Rangers 1 run with a 2 spot here in the bottom of the 6th. And they have their first lead of the game. Here's the 2-2. Outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wilson climbing toward 100 pitches. He's at 93 right now. Three and two on Johnny Peralta. And he lost him, ball 4. The second walk today for Peralta. And the third for Wilson.
Don't think for one moment that those base on balls to Peralta are not by design. He has been one of the hotter Tigers hitters all year. And after getting off to a pretty good start, has struggled a little bit lately. Therefore, C.J. Wilson trying to pick the outs in the Tigers lineup. At least what he perceives as outs.
And Joe for 2 in this one. Jim Leyland has watched his team take his first lead of the game. And Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, is out to chat with Wilson. Got some stirring right now in the bullpen, but nobody actually throwing just yet. That will change, though. 4-3 Tigers, 2 on 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning, and here comes Inge. Ball 1. .200 this year with men in scoring position for Brandon. There's the action in their pen. Pedro Strop warming up. Ooh, he got crossed up there. Torey Alva saying, what's going on here?
He's lucky it was a breaking ball that he got crossed up on. Had he called for the breaking ball and that been a fastball, there's no way he catches it.
Bosch the runner at second and Peralta the runner at first. Three and 0. Wilson having a bout of wildness now. He has walked Peralta. In fact, he's walked him twice. He's fallen behind Brandon Inge.
He might just green light Brandon here.
He does, and a line drive right at Beltre. Hit it hard, but right at him. So the Tigers will lead 2 in the inning, but they scored 2, and they have their first lead of the game. As we go to the 7th inning, it's now 4-3 Detroit. Tigers have the lead as we check out our Comerica game summary. Ryan Rayburn, a big series so far. Had a big day today, both with the bat and the glove. Michael Young this series, how about 4 for 6? And the Tigers have 2 doubles today. They have doubled in every game so far in 2011. So Brad Penny now is going to be asked to protect a 1-run lead as we head to the 7th inning.
He'll have a very short leash, however. If anybody gets on Jim, more than likely, we'll go to his bullpen.
Yorvi Torrealba will lead things off. It'll be Torrealba, Moreland, and Bourbon. So he's got the bottom of the lineup, 7, 8, 9. First pitch is outside to Yorvit. 4 runs on 6 hits for Detroit. The Rangers 3 runs on 6 hits. Here's the 1-0 pitch. On the ground to the right side, ranging left, Santiago has it. And Torrealba's 0 for 3. Action in the Detroit bullpen, and that is Brian Villarreal, who more and more now is getting a look later in games. Jim Leyland not afraid to throw the rookie out there in the 7th inning. Mitch Moreland with a double and a run scored in this game. Ball 1 to Moreland. He now has a 6-game hitting streak going. Hamilton extended his to 8 before he left the game with a strained shoulder. Penny with a workmanlike effort here today. And he throws a strike, 1-1. Brad came in winless in his first 2 starts. Gave up 1 run in the first, 1 run in the third, and then a run in the 6th. And really has done a good job of keeping away from the big inning, limiting damage today. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled, 1-2. By the way, Andy Oliver was pitching today at AAA Toledo. He had a good first start, and Oliver follows that up with an 8 strikeout performance today in 6 innings.
Good left-hander. We saw him last year up here. Had a few starts.
And the 1-2. Little looper into center field. Jackson is on the run, won't get there. Base hit. 1-out single for Moreland. And the Rangers have their 7th hit. Well, Jacob Turner off to a good start at AA. Oliver off to a good start at AAA. Tigers, young guns in terms of their arms, doing well so far in the minor leagues.
Well, both of those guys you just mentioned are front of the rotation kind of guys. Number 1, number 2 starters on good big league teams once they mature.
And as we've seen year after year, Rod, something will happen as to where you will need to dip down to the minor leagues and get some help at one point or another.
That's right.
This might be a double play. 6-4. Not in time. Good stretch by Cabrera, but a little bit too much speed for Bourbon.
Santiago, when he got that feed from Peralta, you could see the sense of urgency in him getting the ball, transferring to the throwing hand, and throwing a seed to first base, but still not able to get Bourbon.
Boy, can he run. So Jim Leyland coming out. And it looks like Brad Penny is done for the day. Gives up the baseball. He'll get a nice round of applause for a solid effort here today. Wall side windows pitching change. Tigers go to the pen. We're coming back.
Well, as you mentioned, Villarreal is the one that's trying to bridge the gap to get the ball to Benoit in the 8th and Valverde in the 9th when Tigers have a lead. And one of the other reasons why Villarreal is in the game is the fact that he wants to make sure Bourbon, who's on first, doesn't steal, and Villarreal gives him a better opportunity at keeping Bourbon closer to the bag. Penny looked good against this team. I mean, 89 pitches, kept the fastball down for the most part, threw some breaking balls in fastball counts. He did get hurt on a few occasions, but the Rangers are playing some hot baseball, and 4 runs, not all that bad.
So he is responsible for the man at first base, and it's 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs for Penny. Villarreal, quick move, got him! Didn't even throw a pitch. He picks off Julio Bourbon. They like that. Villarreal with a lightning quick move. We go to the stretch.
Who has lightning quick feet and able to pick off Bourbon on first base. He threw the ball right down there where Cabrera had very little distance to go between the glove and getting the ball down on the hand of Bourbon. It's his second pickoff already this year.
It is, and we've talked about Verlander's quick feet, but this guy seemingly has taken it to a new level.
That's one of the reasons why they put him in the game. They wanted to make sure they at least gave Martinez a chance to throw Bourbon out if he was going to try to steal, and Villarreal did one better. He picked him.
So here's Casper Wells now, bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Wells, Jackson, and Santiago. Tigers 4 runs, 6 hits. Rangers 3 runs, 7 hits.
I got one for you, and I'm just going to throw it out there. You may know the answer to it, and you may not. But if the Tigers go on to win this game, would Villarreal get credited for a hold?
That's a very good question. Popped up. And it's going to drop. Young looked like he was going to get there, and sliding in with a double as Wells. Young, it appeared, got there, but then just didn't catch it.
Well, I think Michael could have made the play, but he hasn't played second base in a number of years now. He's playing all over the infield these days, and he may have thought that he was going to get called off by Cruz, the right fielder, but as a middle infielder, you have to run with a little bit more aggression in getting back to that ball, and then once you hear the outfielder call you off, then only do you peel off. Don't know for sure whether Cruz called that or not.
Getting back to your question, I think he would get a hold because he did appear in the game. He didn't technically throw a pitch, but good question.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. Well, the Tigers would love to get this run in here. They lead by a single run, and Jackson will step in there. Jackson 1 for 3 today, tripled in his first at bat and scored a run. Showing bunt.
Tricky situation here for Jackson. You got a good fielder on the mound in Wilson, a Gold Glover down at third in Beltre, and you have Moreland at first, who's allowed to vacate his position early because he's not holding anybody on. So this is a tough situation, tough bunt.
He bunts it to third. Beltre will throw out Jackson, advance the runner to third base.
Perfectly done by Jackson. What you want to do is you make the third baseman vacate his position. You make him come and get it, and that opens up third base for Wells. More importantly, he kept it away from the pitcher.
Now Santiago. He has an infield hit and an RBI and a run scored today. One strike on Santiago.
I would not be shocked to see a pitch out here from Ron Washington, just in case Jim is entertaining the thought of squeezing with Santiago in the batter's box.
Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's as good as a pitch out. He would not have been able to bunt that.
Ground ball foul, third base side. Now 1-2, and Santiago needs a new bat.
Before that pitch was thrown, you saw the leadership skills of Torey Alba. He asked for the fastball to cut her in, and he was patting on his left leg. He wanted to make sure Wilson saw that, to make sure he got that ball inside, which he did. That's why this guy's been around a long time.
Bouncing ball right side, and Wells will hold, and Santiago is out. Moreland makes the play, 3 unassisted. And here comes the skipper, Ron Washington, with Rayburn due up. Rayburn slammed a double against Wilson in his last at bat. He'll give up the baseball. So Ron Washington goes to the bullpen.
Hey fans, while we have a moment, let me alert you that you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your phone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit tigers.com for more details.
Leadoff double by Wells. He is at third with 2 outs. And the Tigers and the Rangers in game 2 in the series. Tigers trying to get a big insurance run here. And to the bullpen go the Rangers. Here's the new pitcher, Pedro Strop. He is on now.
Strop's got a pretty good arm. 2 innings, 5 strikeouts so far, 3 walks. The opponent's batting average 143.
And his assignment will be to get Ryan Rayburn, who's had a nice day with the bat. Rayburn 2 for 3, single double, and 2 runs scored. Strop is out of the Dominican Republic. He's had some time in the big leagues briefly each of the last 2 years. Originally signed by the Colorado Rockies, 25 years old, out of San Cristobal. So here comes Rayburn. Each team with 7 hits in this game.
Batting in front of Miguel Cabrera, one of the best spots to hit in all of baseball. You know they're going to come right after you.
Shortened to bunt, takes a strike. Line drive caught by Beltre at third. Inning is over. Tigers threaten but do not score. We have 7 in the books here at Comerica Park. Still 4-3 Detroit. Price period. Bell tire. We've got a good one here at Comerica Park today. The Tigers up by a run, 4-3. And the Tigers go right back to the pen. Villarreal does not throw a single pitch. He picked a runner off, and he'll give way now to Joaquin Benoit.
Yeah, Benoit has not been scored upon. Has a very good arm. Tremendous year last year. Can spot that fastball at 93, 94. Has a really good slider. Very few changeups. Just a really nice pickup by the Tigers.
Benoit was dynamite in spring training as well. And so he'll get some work here now, trying to protect a 1-run lead. Benoit in spring training through 9 scoreless innings with 14 strikeouts. He'll face Elvis Andrus, the top of the order here in the 8th. Andrus, and then Young, and then Kinsler. First pitch is high to Elvis Andrus, who's been on base twice, hit by a pitch. Infield single, and he has stolen a couple of bases. Here's the 1-0.
Supreme command with that fastball in the mid-90s from Benoit.
Missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Told you Benoit was dominant in spring training. In the 9 innings that he pitched, he appeared in 9 games, 9 innings. He allowed 2 hits to go with his 14 strikeouts. So he was in midseason form this spring in Lakeland. And that has spilled over into the regular season. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Andrews.
Really a continuation of what Benoit was able to do in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform last year for Joe Madden. He was the best setup man in all of baseball.
Quite a combination they had with Soriano and Benoit. And they have gone separate ways now. Of course, Benoit here in Detroit. Soriano in New York. Andrews stays alive.
75 strikeouts last year in 60+ innings against 11 walks. Look at the ERA and the opponent's batting average. Dominant. Dominant.
And the 2-2. Tigers got 2 runs in the 6th inning, taking their first lead of the game, and so far it's held up. Now they've turned things over to the bullpen after Brad Penny goes 6 2/3. Swing and a miss, and Andrews is out of there. 1 gone.
That was absolutely filthy. Changeup.
Wow. There's a whole lot of movement on that pitch. Panasonic Foxmo giving you a unique look. 1 gone for Michael Young. Ball 1 on Young. 2 hits, RBI, steal today for Young, plus a run scored.
He's had a nice series.
He was their DH yesterday, playing second base today.
If you can throw that fastball at 94, 95, and then you can throw your changeup and the velocity decrease about 10 miles per hour. That's the differential that you like to have between your fastball and your changeup. But the key to Benoit, he's got the same arm speed and throws 2 different pitches.
Two and 1 on Michael Young. Kinsler will be next. Tigers tomorrow in the final game in this series. They'll send Max Scherzer to the mound. And outside again, 3-1. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Man, Michael Young finds a way to get it done. That's his 3rd hit today. 1 out single the other way. It'll bring up Ian Kinsler. The Rangers have their 8th hit of the day. Tigers have 7 hits. This would be Hamilton's spot, but he left the game early with a strained shoulder diving into home plate. Kinsler took over in the DH slot, and he's 0 for 2.
He's got some power, too.
Kinsler was a 30-30 guy a couple of years ago. Over 30 homers, 30 steals.
He's been an all-star.
Meanwhile, Young at first base now 5 for 8 in this series against Tigers pitching. Oh, and 2. Well, this is what the Tigers hope on most nights here this year, getting a lead into the 8th inning and just turning things over to Benoit and then eventually Valverde. If you can draw it up like this every night, you'll be in pretty good shape. It's just a matter of getting to that point.
Make you look awfully smart as a manager.
And the 0-2. Just off the plate, 1 and 2 on Kinsler. And there is Jose Valverde starting to warm up.
Take that pitch with 2 strikes. Don't give that hitter the benefit of the doubt. 2 strikes are on. Make him swing.
Here's the 1-2, and it's in the air, shallow right field. Casper Wells coming over, out number 2. One more out to get here in the 8th, and that would be Adrian Beltre, who in this game has an RBI and a double. The numbers career for Beltre against Benoit, not all that splashy, just 211 with 5 strikeouts. And a strike right at the knees. 0-1 on Adrian Beltre, who didn't like it. Now he's going to jawbone with Tim Timmons.
It's the best pitch in baseball if you have the kind of command that Benoit has to throw the ball at the knees on the outer edges and get it called a strike. You can't get hurt very often on the location of that last pitch.
Way outside, it gets away from Martinez, and now the tying run goes to second base.
Victor had no chance at catching that one. Cutter got away from Benoit.
Wild pitch advances the runner. One ball, 1 strike on Beltre. Dangerous hitter trying to deliver the tying run here in the 8th. He had 49 doubles, which led the major leagues last year. And here's Benoit's 1-1. Fouled back out of play. 1-2.
Michael Young with 2 outs trying to get a good jump. He knows in left field the Tigers have a strong throwing arm in Ryan Rayburn. Casper Wells in right field also has a very strong throwing arm. Jackson does as well, but it's tough to throw guys out of home plate from center field with the mound coming into play.
So Beltre is in the hole now against Benoit. And the 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Benoit has that changeup in his back pocket, which is a tremendous pitch for him. But if you do throw that pitch, you have to make sure you get it in an area where Beltre can't reach it. And if you don't feel the confidence in that pitch, you got to throw that fastball.
That'll go foul. Beltre out in front.
He went to the changeup. That's a risky pitch. Right-hander throwing a changeup that fades down and in to a low ball hitter.
Yeah, that leaked right over the heart of the plate, and Beltre was just a little bit too far ahead of it. 2-2 on Adrian Beltre. Oh, he hit him.
Oh, that hurt.
Beltre is hit on the backside on a 2-2 pitch.
Some of us have a little bit more padding than others in that area, but it still hurts. Oh, that hurts.
Are you talking about us?
No, me.
Okay.
Oh.
Ouch.
We're going to slow it down for you. Foxmo.
So that'll put runners at first and second. Beltre reaches the hard way. And here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz today has walked, otherwise a ground ball and a fly ball. And ball one misses outside. This has been a lengthy half inning here for Benoit.
It's the hardest we've seen Benoit work in a Tigers uniform, which gives you an idea of just how good Texas is.
23 pitches in this inning for Benoit. And the 1-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a good block down there by Martinez. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Benoit has not had a good strike to ball ratio in this half inning, and he is laboring here.
If you call for the off-speed pitch, you have to show your pitcher that you're willing to get down there, get your tailgate down, to smother to make sure it stays in front of you.
Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Nelson Cruz.
Cruz is not trying to hit a single. He's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Fouled away as Cruz stays alive. Cruz now 0 for 2 in this game, is hitless in his last 10 at bats. He homered in his first 4 games this year, and only 2 other big leaguers have ever done that. Willie Mays and Mark McGwire to start a season homering in 4 straight. And again the 2-2, and it's lined back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Michael Young coming around, he's going to score, and Nelson Cruz delivers the tying 2-out hit here. It's a 4-4 game.
We talked about the changeup, and we talked about the fact that if you're a right-handed pitcher and you throw the changeup to a dangerous right-handed hitter, you have to locate it down, and this one stays up. 2 strikes, very short, compact swing by Cruz. And the score is now tied.
And that's the first run that Benoit has given up all year, whether you count spring training or the start of this season. 4-4 game. They have runners at first and second, and here comes Murphy. And he fouls it off 0-1. So the walk proves big in this half inning. The wild pitch actually proved even bigger. 9 hits now for Texas. They've tied it up at 4. And they're looking for the lead. Back out of play 0-2 now on Murphy. There is action in the Detroit bullpen. Righty-lefty combo. Schlereth and Weinhardt. Fouled away. 0-2, the count stays on Murphy. Benoit now has thrown 31 pitches in this half inning. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away again. So Jim Leland's team has come back from a run down and taken the lead, but now they have surrendered that lead.
Well, you wonder if Benoit giving the Texas Rangers hitters a little bit too much credit. He spent his career in the Texas Rangers uniform before going to Tampa, and he knows a lot about these hitters.
Missed it outside, 1-2.
Makes you wonder.
It does. There's some familiarity there. One ball, 2 strikes on Murphy. He is 0 for 3 in this game. Way high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers setup man today. Benoit unable to hold the lead. Torrealba waiting on deck. And the 2-2. He popped him up. Shallow center field. Jackson coming in, and he's there to make the play. So the Rangers settle for 1. They lead 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
ability to pull his hands inside the ball. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the two-seam fastball that's on the inner third of the plate, but look at the hands that are pulled inside, which allows the barrel of the bat to get over the heart of the plate. And somehow Cabrera able to keep that ball fair yesterday for a double over Hamilton's head, and he does the exact same thing today. Barrel inside the ball, and he whistles another double in this game. That's why he's so good. He goes in that direction, and he'll also go to right field as well with regularity.
So here is Cabrera to start things off in the bottom of the 8th. All tied up again. 4-4 is our score, and Cabrera takes one inside that goes to the backstop. 1 ball to no strikes on Miguel.
I really don't know what the purpose was of that pitch, but he really does not get intimidated when you buzz his tower or when you crowd him with firm fastballs inside.
Strop got the final out of the last inning, and Cabrera takes a strike on the outer edge. 1-1. Cabrera, Martinez, and Bosch here in the 8th. Fouled back out of play, and it's 1-2 on Miguel. Pretty good numbers from the 7th inning on, late in games, many times when it's on the line.
Oh, that's a really nice contact to damage ratio.
Pulled right at Beltre. Man, that's the 3rd time today the Tigers have hit a rocket at him.
The boy's bad. I mean, with a capital B. B-A-D-D kind of bad.
You say 2 Ds as well?
Yes, you got it.
So Rayburn lined out to him to end the 7th, and now Cabrera hits a missile out there in the 8th.
Get the married man off the infield.
Here comes Victor Martinez. Victor today with a sacrifice fly and a walk. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Rangers. Tigers 4 runs, 7 hits. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Oh, 2. Talk about the Rangers and all the outstanding pitching they've had this year. They are still waiting to see if Brandon Webb can help them out. He's a former Cy Young winner in the National League and a 20-game winner. And apparently he threw for Mike Maddox, their pitching coach, before the game today, and felt that it's the best that he has ever thrown, or at least this season. And coming off of arm surgery, he could be a big weapon for them if he comes back healthy.
Those shoulder surgeries are very, very tough to come back from, but if he does, and he pitches like he pitched when he was in an Arizona Diamondbacks uniform, that would be a huge boost.
Well, he hasn't pitched in 2 years. 2009 was the last year that he was throwing full time, so we'll see. But they could have themselves a boost pitching wise. One ball and 2 strikes, and outside 2-2.
A couple of guys with really good sinker balls. Chin-Ming Wong would be another one, along with Brandon Webb. A few guys that won quite a few games in the big leagues that had really, really good sinker balls. I wonder if there's any correlation into throwing that pitch.
Should be. Let me correct something. He had surgery in 2009, so last time he really pitched with any consistency in the big leagues, it was 2008. So it's been a while. The 2-2 is hammered back out of play. Victor Martinez batting here. We're in the 8th inning, 4-4. 20,000 plus enjoying a nice day of baseball here in the Motor City. Plenty of sunshine. Temperature's a little bit cool, but it's been climbing all day. 57 degrees right now. It's got to feel good in the sunlight. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2 on Victor Martinez. And he lost him, ball 4. Go ahead, run is on. Well, the Red Wings' quest for the Stanley Cup begins tomorrow. Game 1 in their first round series against the Phoenix Coyotes. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Red Wings Live, followed by the game at 7. Red Wings playoff hockey is presented by Bell Tire Thursday night here on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Tigers have a man aboard now. Martinez here with 1 gone in the 8th.
Well, Ryan's starting to loosen up a little bit. I wonder if the Tigers are able to get Victor. Oh, Kelly's going to be the pinch runner.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Ryan's, but kind of forgot about Kelly, the jack of all trades. And the point that I was getting ready to make is sometimes a manager won't pinch run for the guy while he's on first, but they'll wait until he gets down to second base.
Jim Leland bringing him out right now, though. So Kelly for Martinez, and since Victor was catching today, the Tigers had an easier decision on whether or not to pinch run for him. If he is the DH, it certainly becomes a more tricky decision.
Well, Brennan Bosch has got some pop in his bat, and if he finds a gap, most likely he could score Kelly from first base, whereas it may have been a little bit more difficult to score Martinez from first base on a gapper.
So here comes Bosch. 1 on, 1 out. Kelly, the runner at first base.
Brennan has really displayed some patience this year, especially on first pitches that he didn't display last year. Looks like he's in a real good place mentally to start the season.
Bosch has walked 3 times this year. It's pulled foul right by Tom Brookins.
When I say patience, I don't necessarily mean based on balls. I'm just talking about not swinging at that borderline first pitch, which he did so many times last year and kind of got himself out.
He would also swing at those pitches up and around the bill of the cap, too, on many occasions. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it's your birthday. You're 26 years old today. Let's have a party.
He's already singled in a run on his birthday. This will be a big hit here in the 8th if he can come through, and it's high and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strop has slowed things down here after the walk to Martinez. Former Colorado Rocky, he was then released by Colorado.
How does an arm like this get released?
Another throw back. Released by Colorado in 2008. And the 2-1. Good pitch. 2-2 now on Bosch.
If you can throw an off-speed pitch for a strike in a pressure situation when a guy is sitting on a fastball and thread the needle, that works well at this level.
Look out, back into the dugout, and it ricocheted out. 2-2 on Bosch. Wilson started the game, gave way to Strop in the 7th inning. Strop is still out there. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, Brad Penny started. Gave way in the 7th to Villarreal. Don Kelly pinch running for Victor Martinez, who walked here with 1 out. Swing and a miss, and Bosch goes down. 2 away. That's going to leave it up to Peralta.
We're going to make that our bale tire pitch by pitch. Now, you got to give Strop a lot of credit. He made the pitches that he needed to make in a pressure situation. And Brennan got himself in a pretty good hitter's count. 2 balls and 1 strike, and a really good breaking ball here to even the count. And then he fouled off a couple before finally swinging through the breaking ball.
Here is Peralta now with 2 outs, and Johnny in the ball game is 0 for 1. He has walked a couple of times. Peralta walking in the 5th and 6th innings. Extra base hit here could give the Tigers the lead. They've been out hit today 9-7. Waving a miss, 1-1. But closer that time, but Kelly getting back in easily. I'm talking about how a guy like this, an arm like this, could be released by Colorado back in 08. He was placed on the disabled list with an elbow fracture and missed the rest of the season. They then took him off the 40-man roster and eventually released him. But he has come back nicely from that injury. Trying to make sure that Kelly does not get to second base, holding him closely. Downey trying to stretch his lead. And another throw. Runner goes. Strike call. Throw down his second, not in time. Kelly swipes the bag.
Kelly picked the right pitch to run on. Strop had gotten into a pattern of throwing off-speed pitches in fastball counts, and that's exactly what he threw. It allowed Kelly to get a couple of extra steps, and he beat the throw from Torrealba.
Now a base hit could possibly give the Tigers the lead here. First stolen base of the year for Don Kelly. 2-2 on Peralta. Swing and a miss. Peralta goes down, and that's all for the Tigers here in the 8th. No runs, a walk. They get a man to second. And it's 4-4 as we go to the 9th. All right, Gates, thank you. By the way, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Tigers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. Got a new battery now. We'll start with the pitcher, Jose Valverde, and there are his numbers this year.
Well, for the most part, Valverde is just a two-pitch pitcher, mid-90s fastball, and he has a split-fingered fastball that's a legitimate swing and miss pitch. Jim just has not been able to get to Valverde very often this season. He's only appeared in 3 games. This would be number 4.
Vila is the new catcher, and he will take over for Martinez. Meanwhile, Kelly stays in the game and plays in right. So Valverde goes to work now against Yorvi Torrealba. 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Texas lineup as we go to the 9th. Tied at 4 runs apiece. And the first pitch from Valverde is in for a strike. Torrealba is 0 for 3, couple of ground balls and a fly ball. Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. 9 Texas hits. They got an RBI triple from Hamilton early. RBI single by Cruz. Big day for Young. He has 3 hits in the game plus an RBI. Valverde coming into a tie game here in the 9th. Almost hit him. Sliced into center field. That's a base hit. So Torrealba is aboard a leadoff single. That makes it an even 10 hits for this Texas offense. And so the go-ahead runner is on now. It's going to bring up Mitch Moreland. Rangers tied it up with a run in the 8th. Moreland 2 for 3, double, single, and he has also scored once.
Well, the situation kind of calls for a sacrifice bunt, but you don't know if that's part of Moreland's game. Big, strong first baseman.
Ball 1. Boone would be next.
No sacrifice bunts last year for Moreland.
And he's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Not showing any signs of laying one down here. Now he's in a good hitter's count here with the runner at first base. Here's the 2-0 in the air toward left field. Rayburn started back. Now he's there. And Moreland is out, 1 gone. That's going to break up Borbone, the number 9 hitter. And a sacrifice in the 7th inning, or actually the 2nd, make it the 3rd inning. I'll get it right. 3rd inning. Had that fielder's choice and was picked off in the 7th. And Bourbon looks at a strike 0-1. Bourbon now has won for his last 15 at bats. Hinge giving chase on this one, but it's back out of play. Already seen how difficult it can be to double up Bourbon. Beat out a double play ball in the 7th. Especially out of the left side of the batter's box, he can really move. Tigers had a 4-3 lead. Texas scored a run in the 8th on an RBI single by Nelson Cruz. That tied the game. It came with 2 outs off of Joaquin Benoit. And now Bourbon is getting tired of waiting, so he walks out of the batter's box. A little game of cat and mouse going on right now. Valverde taking a long time on the hill. Here's the 0-2. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scherzer on the hill tomorrow for the Tigers in the series finale before Detroit hits the trip out to the West Coast. They'll fly out after the game tomorrow. They'll play Oakland for 4, Seattle for 3.
Bring a jacket. You know it gets a little chilly.
That is true. Early in the season
in Oakland.
Bouncing ball to first. Cabrera spins. There's one. Relay. Got him at first base. They turn 2 on Bourbon, and the inning is over. A 3-6-3 double play. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows, for a free and home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. New pitcher on now for the Texas Rangers as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning in a 4-4 game, and Darren O'Day will take over now for Texas.
O'Day throws from a sidearm angle and had a tremendous year last year out of that bullpen for Ron Washington, primarily pitching in the 7th inning. Now he finds himself the primary setup guy for Neptali Feliz in 2011. But real good numbers for O'Day.
Boy, were they. 72 appearances last year and an ERA of 2.03. And he'll go to work now facing the bottom of the Tigers lineup, Inge, Avila, and then the top side, Jackson. 4 runs on 10 hits for Texas. The Tigers 4 runs on 7 hits. Brandon is 0 for 3. First pitch is a strike on the outer edge to Brandon Inge, 0-1. O'Day takes over for Strope, who went 3 1/3, or 1 1/3, I should say. There's a base hit into left field. Inge with a solid single to lead things off here in the bottom of the ninth. The winning run is on. That'll bring up Avila. And we'll see if Alex is bunting him up here. Avila at 250 with 3 homers this season. This is his first at bat. Came on as a defensive replacement. And he lays down a bunt. Pretty good one. Moreland will throw. And Avila is out. And Inge goes to second.
It's pretty good technique here by Avila. He gets the ball where he wants to get it. He gets it down toward first base because Moreland had the responsibility of holding Inge on, so he'd get a late break from there, not down the other way where Beltre had no responsibility. The last time Jim Leyland bunted to get a runner in scoring position when Jackson was in the batter's box, Jackson got a base hit.
Well, another one would be awfully nice here. Jackson has a triple. Winning run at second base. Ball 1.
As you can imagine from the arm slot that O'Day throws from, he could present some problems for right-handed batters. Lefty's not a whole lot better. Those are career numbers.
Two 2-0 on Jackson. Santiago would be next. Tigers trying to win it here in walk-off fashion in the bottom of the ninth. Pause is imploring the crowd of better than 20,000 to make some noise. And the 2-0. Driven down the left field line. It's hooking, and that ball is foul.
Oh!
The game almost ended. That could not have been fouled by too much. Cabrera in the dugout thought we almost ended this thing. 2-1 on Jackson. Outside. Now it's 3-1. Santiago waiting on deck. If it gets that far. 3-1 right now on Jackson. Make it 3-2. They did not give in. Tigers have 8 hits and the Rangers have 10.
Jackson's already seen that breaking ball a couple of times from O'Day. If he decides to throw another one, he should put it in play with authority.
Outside, he lost him. Ball 4. So Jackson gets a walk. That's going to bring up Santiago with a chance to win it. One for 3 today for Santiago, plus an RBI. Inge represents the winning run down at second base. First pitch strike on the outer edge.
If you're Gene Lamont in the third base coaching box, you have to make sure that Inge can score on a base hit. Texas outfielders are playing very, very shallow. Santiago does not have a lot of power. And Cruz in right field has one of your better throwing arms from that position in baseball.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Leadoff single by Inge. Avila sacrificed him to second base. Jackson has just walked. Rayburn is on deck. Inside, almost hit him. 1-2.
This exact situation right here is where you really have to rely on your advanced scouts, the scouts that follow teams around before you're going to play them, because big league teams don't take infield anymore, so they don't really show their arms off. So if you're on the coaching staff, you really don't know who can throw.
Swing and a miss. Santiago goes down, and that's the second out of the inning, and now it's going to be up to Rayburn to win it.
Rayburn's had a good day. He's hit the ball sharp for the most part all day long.
Torrealba is out there to have a confab with O'Day. Here are the numbers on Rayburn today. 2 for 3. A couple of runs scored. Rayburn had an RBI double. That came in the 6th inning. That tied the game up at that point. 3-3. Tigers went ahead 4-3. Ball 1. Jackson and Inge are base runners. Outside, 2-0. With Cabrera lurking.
If O'Day decides to throw that little fastball to Rayburn, a little two-seamer that tails down and in. And Rayburn likes the ball down and in. He'll drill it to left somewhere.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Checked his swing, and he went. 2-1.
Tim Timmons called that himself. Did not need any help from the first base umpire.
High, 3 balls and 1 strike. O'Day now is 1 pitch away from facing Cabrera with the bases loaded. Three and 1 on Ryan Rayburn. Winning run at second base. And here's the 3-1. He walked in, ball 4. O'Day with his body language indicating, come on, where was it? Now he's going to have to deal with Cabrera.
One of the things that Ron Washington wanted to stay away from, and that was having to pitch to Cabrera in a situation where it meant something. Nothing Ron Washington can do now.
He has no choice. It was a close pitch.
I thought it was a ball, though.
I did too. Oh, O'Day wanted it badly.
Good plate discipline there from Rayburn, because if you're Rayburn hitting in front of Cabrera, you know the last thing that O'Day wanted to do was walk you. So as a hitter, you can be a little over aggressive in that situation, but he did not expand his strike zone.
Meanwhile, Cabrera with the bases loaded, frightening, 434. And that's career. So his eyes are lighting up right now. A chance to win this game. The bases are full with 2 outs.
No disrespect to O'Day, but he really doesn't have the pitch to get Cabrera out.
And it's high, 1-0.
Cabrera will have to get himself out. That's how good he is.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's kind of hard to get depth on your breaking ball from the angle that O'Day throws from, but he's thrown a couple of pretty good breaking balls in this inning.
Cabrera in this game has a double. He's 1 for 4. He injures the winning run, standing at third. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Cabrera sporting 6 career walk-off hits. Two and 1 on Cabrera. It all started with a leadoff single here by Brandon Inge. Ground ball, base hit left field, and the Tigers win. Miguel Cabrera comes through with a walk-off base hit in the bottom of the 9th. He found a seam on the left side of the infield, and the Tigers celebrate.
It's a good win. It is a really good win against a really good baseball team. Once the count went to 2 balls and 1 strike, he had already thrown him a couple of breaking balls. He threw that little 2-seamer down and in, and Cabrera hit it right past Beltre and Andrews, the shortstop.
Inge crossing home plate with a winning run. And Miguel Cabrera with another walk-off hit in his career. And the Tigers win this one here this afternoon by a score of 5-4, and they have a chance to win this series with a victory here tomorrow against Texas. Cabrera in the clutch with a 2-out hit, the game winner. Back with more from Comerica Park right after this.